Hi guys, welcome back to notagamble.com. We're often asked at notagamble.com whether it's possible in the long run to beat the casino. Well, the answer is it's really tough. You need the right strategy, you need a big enough bankroll, and of course you need an awful lot of luck. What you can do though is to adopt a strategy where you cover the whole table. So that you get money back on every spin, and that's what the Todo El Mundo strategy does, and we'll go through the standard and the extreme versions of that in this video. Just remember though that never bet more than you can afford to lose. If you think you've got a gambling problem, then just stop this video and seek some help. So anyway, let's get going.
Snotagamble.com.
So you can see in front of you we have the table. And you can see that we've got a whole series of individual bets here. So we're betting a single unit on the 0. We're betting 12 units on the first dozen and the third dozen. And then 3 units on 19 to 21 Street, 3 on the 22 to 24 Street, and then a single unit on the 2 remaining streets. So provided the numbers 13 to 18 don't come in, we're going to make a profit. Okay, on each individual spin. If the numbers 13 to 18 come in, then we'll jump up to level 2 of the system, and we'll obviously run through that if and when we need to. Now if you head over to notagamble.com, you can pick up the play guide for this particular system, along with all our other systems, all completely free, of course. Okay, so a session is 20 spins. That's what we're going to go for. So let's kick it off and we'll see where we get to. So we'll go with the first spin, and we've got number 4. That's fine. So you can see we've won there, and we've actually won 3 units. Okay, so if we rebet and go again, and number 1, so another 3, and you can see we've got most of the board covered here. So we've only got 6 numbers really, 7 numbers including the 0 that we don't like to see. Everything else we're fine with. And we've got number 10, so we continue to win, and number 24 again. So even though that's coming on the second dozen, you can see that we've won another 3 units. So excuse me, so 4 rounds in, we've won on each of the bets so far, and number 5 is 0. Okay, so actually you can see that even on the 0 we've still won 3 units. We're up 15 units in total. So we're quite happy with that, and you can see that we're actually betting 33 units per spin here. So £33, $33, whichever currency you happen to be playing in. So 0 again. So we're now 18 up, and this is round 6. So that's fine. We're keeping going. We're about to get a loss in a minute, in which case we'll go up to level 2 of the system to show you how that works. But for the moment, we're keeping winning, and we're 24 units up, 27 units up. Okay, so now we've hit a 16. So you see that we've actually won in the sense of we returned some money on that one, but we've lost overall. So we're down to 6 units up at this stage. So we go to level 2 of the system. And level 2 of the system is actually basically increasing our bets. So first off, we put a single unit on the number that won last time. And then we are adding 10 units to most of the streets. So if we go that street, so all the streets on the first dozen, 10 units additional to those 2 streets on the second dozen, and then 10 units on each of the third dozen. So we now have whoops, that's made a mistake. So that should be a single unit on there. So we now have I knew there was a mistake there, so we'll get rid of that, and that is 10. There we go. So we've got 134 units at stake now, obviously on a single 0 table. If we're playing on a double 0, then there would be an additional 1. It would be 135 units. So again, we are wanting anything other than the 13 to 18. So let's go for it. And number 10, that's fine. So we've now recouped the loss from the first spin. Okay. Now it's up to you. Some variations of this system, if you were to have hit 13 to 18 there, you would just stop and you know, accept the loss. If you're feeling brave, you can keep going and try to recuperate or try to recover the loss. So if we go back, so we won, so we now go back to the first level, and if we just reset the table to there, and then 10 on there and 10 on there, so 33 units in total, and we've had 11 spins, so we can keep going. 31, that's fine, so that gives us another 3 units profit, and 33 again, that's fine, so we're now 34 units up, so 21, that's all good. So we're going quite nicely. 26. Now I should say at this point, there is a variation of this system that if you hit the 13 to 18 on the first spin, on the first level, now normally of course you go to level 2 and increase your bet size, which gives you sort of 130 odd units that you're betting. If you're in profit and betting 130 odd units would take you into a loss, then a variation of the system is just to stop and not go to level 2. So if you're really wanting to be cautious, then that is an option for you, and that increases the win rate of the system as a whole, but of course it actually decreases the average win. So we'll keep going with this. We're into round 15, 29, so this is going quite nicely. And we'll keep going to bet 20, spin 20. So we're 49 units up at this stage. Right, now we've hit a loss there on round 19, so we're at 28 units profit. So as I said, we could now just stop and say we'll take the 28 units profit, or we go to level 2, which is actually what we're going to do for the purposes of this particular video. So we lost on number 15, so we put a single unit on there, and then if you remember we go to 10 units additional on all of these streets. So there we go, so 134 units in total, and if we spin we'll see where that takes us, and number 35 comes in. So we've done 20 spin session. We're 50 units up, which is great. Now the average on this particular system for over 20 spins is you would win 59% of sessions on a single zero table, and the average win on a winning session is about 45 units. So you can see on this particular session that we're about right. We're average is 45. We made 50, so that's slightly above average, but pretty good. When you lose, your maximum loss will be 143. So you need a bankroll coming into this of 150 units or give or take. Okay, so that's that one. We'll now move on to look at the extreme version of this, which instead of having 2 levels has 3 levels.
SnotAgamble.com.
Right, so on the extreme version of the Todo El Mundo system, say it's 3 levels rather than 2, and the betting is slightly different. So this is level 1. I'm just going to restart the simulator for the purposes of this. So we bet a single unit on 0, 5 on the first dozen, and then 6 on the remaining double streets. Whoops, too many. And here we go. Oh dear. Okay, so there we go. So we've got a total bet size of 30 units, which is slightly less than the level 1 in the standard version of the system. So basically on this one we are we're happy to see anything other than the first dozen. So if we go ahead and spin, so 15, that's fine. So you can see on this one we're actually 6 units up, so our standard win is 6 units. So we'll move forward, and we've got a 0, so again we've won the 6 units even though it wasn't the second or third dozen. So anything other than the first dozen is a profit for us in this particular version of the system. 36, so we're 18 units up, and 21, so that's all good. 33. Okay, so again, there is a variation with this system. Right, so we've actually hit a loss there, but there is a variation in the system whereby if you lose the first spin, then don't go forward to level 2 and you know, obviously onto level 3. So we're still up, but we obviously hit a first dozen. So what we do now is to increase our bet sizes. So we go to 2 on the 0. We bet the number that just won for 2 units, and then we are increasing our remaining double streets by 10 units each time. So we now have 74. Actually, sorry, we have missed one. There we go, and we've got a single additional one on there. So we've now got 74 units at stake. So again, we're looking to avoid the first dozen. So if we spin, so that's fine. So we obviously did avoid the first dozen, and we're up to 37 units now. So we can revert back now to our standard level 1 bets, which is a 1, a 5, 6 on the remaining double streets, and then we spin again. 21, all good. So we're 8 spins in, and we've got a first dozen. So again, you can head over to notagamble.com and pick up the play sheets for this system, which actually, you know, gives you all of these levels, the individual bets, the percentage win rates, etc. And of course, if you like the video, then, you know, choose like, subscribe, etc., and tell your friends, and don't forget to set the notifications on so that you get told of all of our additional videos. So it was number 12 that hit, so we'll go for a 2 on there, an increase of 1 on there, and then an additional 10 on these. So that gives us a bet of 74, and we'll spin. So we're at level 2 of the system. Right, so we've lost there. Okay, so now we're going to move to level 3, and level 3 is the final level. So again, with, you know, as with the standard version of the system, if you lose on level 3, you've got an option. You can either just stop and accept the loss, or keep going and try to recover. We assume within the stats that we give that you stop after level 3. So what we do now is, for level 3, is rather similar to the first one. We increase our 0 and our first winning number, first losing number it was, by a single, and then we'll go 3 units on the number that just hit, so 1 in this case. Increase our first dozen by 1, and then an additional 10 on our double streets. So we have a total bet size of 120. And we hope this one that we avoid the losing numbers, which we don't. So we lost on that one. Now, so we're 127 units down. So, you know, as I said, we could just stop, or we could carry on. So we'll carry on for the purposes of this, because we like to do 20 spins. In reality, we may very well have stopped at this point, but let's go ahead anyway. And we'll stick with level 3 now until we recover our losses, or we get to 20 spins, whichever is the first. So we're now only 55 down, so that's all good. 24, so we're now 19 down, and one more spin would put us back into profit, which it didn't. We were very close, so we'll just keep going. We're 15 spins in, and we hope to recover these. No, it's obviously going pear-shaped for us on this one, but of course that is what happens. We do lose every now and again. Now the win rate on this particular, the extreme version of the system, is actually 64%. So you're going to win 2/3 of the time. When you win, you're going to win an average of 60 units. And your maximum loss if you stop at level 3 is 178. Now we've kept going, obviously, so we're 208 down, and we're going to go just to see what happens. You never know, we may be able to recover. It's you know, it's not looking too brilliant, but nevertheless we're 163 down, 127 down after 20 spins. Okay, not ideal, but there you go. That's what happens with roulette. As we say, you can't guarantee a win no matter what the system is. So, how do we rate this system? I'm going to rate both the standard and extreme version together. They are slightly different, and so we could rate them differently. But for the purpose of this, I'm going to rate them together. Now, the problem with this system is that potentially there's quite a lot at stake. The winning rate isn't bad. It's certainly over 50%. Go up to 60, and when you do win, you win a decent amount. So it's quite a good system, but it's not right up at the very top for my way of things. So I'm gonna give this a wildebeest. I think it's a really good system. There's lots of flexibility. You can vary when you win, when you lose, or when you stop. But for me, I would still prefer to go with one of our Lion systems. So if you have a look at like the Progressive Dozen, for example, you can find all those on notagamble.com and of course on YouTube. Okay, so if you like these systems, or you've tried them and you've got on well with them, or you haven't, then feel free to leave comments below. Tell us what your lucky casino is. If you've tried this system and you find that a particular casino works really well for you, then let us know, and let all our nodder gamblers know. Okay, so that's it for this time, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.
It's not a gamble.com. It's not a gamble. It's not a gamble.com. It's not a gamble.